Hi guys, Robert here in Irish Whiskey Auctions. The reason I'm standing in front of you today and not Anthony or Katie is because Anthony is away on a research trip and he will not be back for a while. But he's working hard, so I've been told. And when Anthony's away, Katie gets a holiday too from him, so that's all good. But more importantly, we have a auction starting this Friday, 5 p.m. Do not miss it, because we actually have some pretty interesting lots this month. I know I probably say that to some people every month, but walking up and down the aisles quickly this afternoon, there's actually a bit of a diversity here. There's a lot of Irish, obviously, but we also have a lot of rums. We have lots of, what else we have? We have a ton of American bottles this month as well. I also noticed we have also got some interesting signed bottles. So while you're walking back down the aisle, you'll see 4 walls. Friends, it's all been signed by members of the show from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's an interesting one. And then back down the aisle, you'll see there's a ton more other bottles. And then finally, what we're going to have a quick chat about is the bottles on the shelves here. So we have a group of people coming to visit in the next few days. They're going to spend 7 days in Belfast. There might be a little bit of whiskey involved. They may be on a bus, who knows. And they're going to be visiting a lot of these locations over the 7 days. So I thought it'd be interesting just to quickly run through these bottles that you can buy in the auction come Friday. That will be featured on the whiskey bus coming up in a couple of weeks. So, 2 stacks, 12-year-old, single grain, released exclusively for Stories and Sips. This, I believe, is one of the first bottles that was released for Barry Chandler's group, Stories and Sips Club. They have released quite a few whiskies now, and they nearly always sell out. They do not struggle. You will have a very short window if you're a member to buy them. You don't see too many of them come up for auction because a lot of members actually drink and enjoy the whiskey that they buy. They buy a lot of whiskey, but just these club exclusives that they get their hands on, they like to savour them for themselves and share amongst friends, which ultimately is fantastic to see. So when these do come up at auction, not that often, try and buy them if you can. Or maybe you remember missed out on the opportunity to buy one. There's one there right for you. Dumbbells. I love these older labels. Fantastic older labels. This is based on the original dumbbells design from God knows when, 1910, 1920, 1930 kind of period, and they'd be able to sort of bring them back when they re-released the brand. So that's fascinating. I love these. And again, you see the old cover from Ecklenville as well. Down here we have the beginning. This was only released a few weeks ago, sold out in a couple of days. I was actually surprised how quickly it sold out, but again, Ecklenville is one of those hot distilleries at the moment, and people are just snapping up everything and getting their hands on when it comes to them. This is the beginning. This is the inaugural release per se. It's fantastic. It's this big, meaty, heavy box. Sometimes you see presentations and they look good in photographs and they're a little bit cheap when you get your hands on them. But this is what you see in the photos. This is a heavy, no expense spared. They've not cheaped out on this. This is fantastic. And the whiskey, more importantly, it's fantastic to drink as well. So it's not just all about show with these guys. Bushmills, 24-year-old. This was released. This was not available for sale. This was given to members of people that were involved in opening up the new Causeway distillery. So you were gifted these bottles. They did not come available commercially. So again, it's great to see a couple of these popping up at auction now and then. Over here, we have Bushmills again, but something a little different from 24-year-old single malt. We have a American exclusive. We can see it's American because it's 750ml. It's plum brandy cask finish. Again, something a little different there from Bushmills, but they've got the casks hidden away where they can do those kind of weird and wonderful things, expressions when they want to. This here, they're not going to be visiting any distillery because this is just a little brand. But we have Dragonclaw whiskey, and they are actually based in Northern Ireland as well. The owner of Dragonclaw, Chris Crooks, he, I believe, is a photographer by trade. Or not a photographer, a tattoo artist by trade. So again, you can kind of see his creative influences there in his whiskies. I've not actually had any of these yet, but I'm always fascinated by how well they look and how well they're presented. And again, it's good to see these little oddities turn up in auction every month, because again, it's something that you don't often hear about in time to be able to snap them up. Killowen. This is on the whiskey bus as well. So this is a lot of new Killowen barrels coming out recently. People are struggling to keep up with them. There was a Finnish single cask for Killowen barrel released yesterday or the day before, I think, and again just gone. This one here is Illuminati exclusive. So this is a private club group have gotten together and got themselves a barrel and released it. So it's kind of cool to see that. So it's good to see Brendan and Chloe and Two Stacks getting a lot of support like that and be able to sort of help people out and put them whiskey on lips essentially. And then we have Shortcross over here, which is also on the whiskey bus. And then last but not least, we have an Irish rum. So Copeland will be visited by the whiskey bussers. This is an Irish rum. Copeland do a lot of whiskey, they do gins, and they've also tried to hand out rum. This was finished in a Bordeaux Grand Cru cask. So again, something a little different. It's not all about whiskey. And that's a quick summary of what we have coming up. We will be back tomorrow with another video on who knows what it'll be. It is a surprise. I'll keep you informed. Tune in. Remember, 5 p.m. is when we kick off on Friday. Get your bids in, and any questions, reach out to us on the socials, email, phone, whatever you need. And that is it for today. Ciao.